Vanavatan students, I Vishal sir and today I am going to teach you chapter number 8, Fire, Friend and Foe. Okay, Aliman didn't know what fire was, but he must have seen the damage it could cause. He must have watched lightning and volcanoes long before he began to use fire himself. Means early men were unable to know that what is fire was, what the fire was. Okay, but sometimes when some happenings in their surroundings could taken place, then they must have seen the damages of fire. Okay, fire may have puzzled early men, but we now know that fire is the result of a chemical reaction. When the oxygen in the air combines with carbon and hydrogen in a fuel, a chemical reaction takes place. Okay, means early men were unable to know that what fire was, but nowadays we can easily know that what is fire and how it burns. Okay, so it is just a chemical reaction and produce it becomes it got flames when air combines with the oxygen and the hydrogen. Okay, so energy in the form of heat and light is released in this process. This is what we call fire. Okay, so in this process energy also produced, and it is because we call it fire. Three things are needed to make fire. Now we have to know what the three things. Those three things are fuel, oxygen and heat. Wood, coal, cooking gas and petrol are some examples of fuel. Okay, oxygen comes from the air. That is why when you blow on smoldering paper, it is often burst into flame. The third thing needed to make fire is heat. Means heat is also required to make a fire. Okay, fuel and third things that is heat. Fuel and oxygen do not make fire by themselves. Okay, it is not possible that fuel and oxygen only can make fire by themselves, while newspaper or a stick lying in the open would catch fire on its own. To burn a piece of paper or wood, we heat it before it catches fire. Okay, means we require heat to make a fire. We generally do it with a lighted match. Every fuel has a particular temperature at which it begins to burn. Means different fuel have different kind of a particular temperature on which they will start to burn. This temperature is called the flash point. Now there is also a question that what is flash point. So we will know that completely at the particular temperature when a fuel start to burn, that is known as flash point or kindling temperature of the fuel. Okay, it is sometimes said that fire is a good servant but a bad master. It only means that fire is very useful as long as it is kept under control. Okay, till that it is under your control, it is your servant, otherwise it could be your worst master. Okay, for instance, we use it to cook our food, warm our homes in winter, and to generate electricity. Means if we want to cook food, we can use fire. If we want to warm our homes in winter, we can. And for in order to generate electricity, in order to produce electricity, we also can use the fire. But on the other hand, if fire gets out of control, it can be dangerous. Each year thousands of homes and shops are damaged by fire. Vast areas of forest are also destroyed and hundreds of people are killed or injured. Means that is casualties of fire. Just as three things are needed to start a fire, there are three main ways in which a fire can be put out. In each, one of the three things needed for burning is taken away. Means now first of all we learned that what is fire. Okay, after that we learned about how fire get produced or how fire makes. Okay, after that now we are going to know that how can we extinguish fire. Okay, so let's turn now over another space. For example, we can take away the fuel if the fire has no fuel to feed on. No burning can take place. If there won't be any kind of fuel, then no burning can take place. We often let a fire die out simply by not adding more fuel to it. Means that is first step, that is first way we how we can put out fire. Okay, the second way of putting out a fire is to prevent oxygen from reaching it. Means when oxygen reaches to it, fire fire can be more worst. Okay, so first of all we have to prevent oxygen from reaching that. No supply of oxygen means no fire. Small fires can be put out or smoothed with a damp blanket or a sack. Means if there's a very small fire, then you can damp with a sack or blanket. Okay, this stops oxygen reaching the burning material. Sometimes carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire, and in your schools you also have seen that cylinder in which that only carbon dioxide gas is. It does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material. Okay, when carbon dioxide cylinders gas is sprayed on fire, then it does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material. The third way of putting out fire is to remove the heat. If the temperature can be brought down below the flash point, as we earlier studied in a previous page that what is flash point. So if temperature can be brought down below the flash point, the fuels stop burning. You blow on a burning matchstick or a candle to put it out. In doing so, you remove the hot air around the flame, bringing down its temperature below the flash point, and the candle goes out. Means now you also came to know that why your candles get put out. Okay, in doing yeah. So sometimes water is sprayed on a fire. Okay, sometimes also you can see that water is sprayed on fire to put it out. So let's know why. It absorbs heat from the burning fuel and lowers the temperature. The blanket of water also cuts off the supply of oxygen and the fire is extinguished. You got that? When water is supplied, then fire can be extinguished. Some fires cannot be put out with water. If water is spread on an oil fire, the oil will float to the top of the water and continue to burn, because water can float on the water. Okay, sorry, oil can float on the water. This can be very dangerous because water can flow quickly, carrying the burning oil with it and spreading the fire. Water should also not be used on fire caused by electrical appliances. So let's know why we should not spray water if fire is related to electricity. So the person spraying water might receive an electric shock and can be killed. A carbon dioxide extinguisher is the best thing to fight an electrical fire, because by doing so you will not get any kind of electrical shock. But if one will spray water on that fire that is caused by electricity, then you can get a shock. Okay, we spend million of rupees each year in fighting fires, and we spend more trying to find new ways of preventing fires from happening and getting out of control. On the whole, we have learned rather well to control fire and put it good to use in our everyday life. Means now we have no any kind of danger. No, we should not afraid from fire, but we should be careful. We should be always careful while using fire. Okay, long ago there was no fireman. When fire broke out, everybody becomes a firefighter. People formed human chains, they still do if required, and passed buckets of water from a well or a pond to the blaze. Okay, by this way they used to extinguish the fire. Now there are laws about buildings constructions which ensure that space is left between buildings to reduce the fire risk. Every new building, especially a public place, must ensure observance of fire prevention norms. Bands of firefighting workers with special equipments known as fire brigades, okay, are them there to put out fires. And you also have seen that many times in your surroundings, fire brigades, vehicles and firemen, firefighters, you also have seen. Now let's know who are the firefighters. Okay, so those firefighters are highly trained people. They possess many skills. They cut off electricity supply, knock down dangerous walls, spray water and other materials to bring a fire under control. They are also trained in first aid. So means those firefighters are very good skilled. They are also trained for to fight with fire and for use first aid box so that they can help people suffering from burns or from the effects of smoke. The discovery of fire and its uses helped early men to cope with nature better and gradually adopt a settled mode of fire life. Means when there was discovery of fire, then there were many changes. Means now human had learned that how to cooperate with nature better and gradually adopt a settled mode of life. Fire is still worshipped in many parts of the world. Okay, in our religious, in also Hindu religious, we worship fire. Okay, fire is indeed a friend, but as we know, it can be dangerous enemy once it gets out of control. Okay, so while using fire, you should be very careful. Okay, so my dear students, it was the explanation of the chapter number 8, that was fire, friend and foe. Okay, so, but I am very disappointed that completely in our school teachers are continually making videos, many kind of videos they are making for you, they are recording for you, but you are not even watching. So please must watch each and every video, because we are going to frame paper from this video only. Okay, okay, take care and keep enjoying. Vande Mataram.